All righty. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Welcome to today's co-taught lesson from the Cobblestone Collective. Very glad to have you here today. My name's Susan Stewart, and this is my friend Coulter. And we are going to be here today talking to you about a lot of things, talking this week being Computer Science Education Week, and so many fun opportunities to learn about the impact of computer science in education. We'll be coding with Python, and we have a lot more going on. Again, I'm Susan. Coulter, you want to take a moment and introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. We have a really exciting workshop today. We have a really cool guest speaker and a co-guest speaker to make sure that we have the right conversation about how technology is everywhere. And it's in every sort of career right now, and every sort of opportunity that you take. We see technology evolving and making things easier for us in our daily lives. So we have a really interesting guest speaker from a pretty popular game and console. I don't know if you've heard of Xbox before, but we're going to bring them on in just a moment. But I'll pass it back to Susan to get us through our little introductions, and then we'll get rolling.
Awesome. Okay. So, of course, it's so important that we take a moment when we come together to acknowledge the land from which we are sharing. So, you're probably learning from or near the traditional territories of one of the many indigenous groups across North America. I want to acknowledge that I'm presenting from the traditional territory of the Yokuts people here in California. And I'm thankful for their beautiful land on which I'm able to teach, learn, explore, and share my passion of technology with you. So make sure that you take that moment to acknowledge the land on which you enjoy your life. If you want to learn more, you can go to nativeland.ca and find out more about the land where you are. We are the Cobblestone Collective. Coulter and I come from a group of educators who really do just have a passion for sharing technology and education. If you want to learn more about the Cobblestone Collective, you can go to cobblstonecollective.ca. And I want to take a minute to give a little thank you. Thank you, of course, to Minecraft Education and Microsoft Canada. And you want to add anything to that, Coulter?
Just a big thank you to them. Without that, we wouldn't be in your classroom, but also without your teachers, we wouldn't be here either. So thank you to your teachers out there. Make sure students, you're thanking them and showering them with some praise for inviting us into your classroom and providing a nice experience for you.
Awesome. So before we get started, we want to make sure that you are connected with us. We are here. We're on the screen. You can see and hear us, but we can't see or hear you. So we have a system for making sure that if you have questions or if you want to just let us know you're out there, we have a place for you to jump in and say hello. So you can use this form. You can go into a new tab or a new window and go to thecc.page/Minecraft 2021. We're going to use this same link multiple times. So get that open in another window, another tab, thecc.page/Minecraft 2021. And that is where you can say hello. We'll have several questions for you. And again, if you have questions for some of our exciting guest speakers, that's where you will share with us as well. So here comes the first question for you. And it's a simple one. Share with us. What have you coded before? So remember, the process here is you're going to open up a new tab or window. Don't close our window. We want you to stay here with us as well. Go to thecc.page/Minecraft 2021 and just answer that simple question. And we already have some friends jumping in, Coulter. This is exciting. We have Shaden coming and says that they like Minecraft. Cool, awesome, wonderful. Anyone else out there? What have you coded before? Yes.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty general question. Have you coded maybe in Minecraft? Have you coded something outside of Minecraft? Maybe you've done some robots, and I can see that we have Hayden that has chimed in and said that they've done some dash and dots before, which is awesome. And I see that Ashley has chimed in with saying that they've done a Saphiro. I think I pronounced that right. With some coding. So that's awesome that your coding experience is everywhere different. I see some other students here. We've got we have Peter, and we have what else? We got Peter, we got Michael, We have Delaney, all saying that they've done some coding before with blocks, and they've done our code, and I can see that that's awesome. We have Miss Bridget's class that I see. Miss Bridget's class, blocks, microbits, Scratch, and Roblox. Awesome. From Miss Wheeler, we've got coded a game in Scratch. Thank you, Jordan. Awesome.
Thank you to Miss Wheeler's class for joining us. Yeah, it looks like there's some good Scratch fun going on out there. Wonderful.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about different things that we've coded, but today we're going to be coding in Python, which is a new language, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but we probably should bring on our guest speaker. And our guest speaker today is Davian, and Davian is an awesome gamer, and just I'm so impressed with his career that he's gone through so far. We've known each other for a little while now, but I haven't seen him in forever because he moved out west and started working with Halo. So Davian, we're going to bring you on. And we're also going to bring Amar. And Amar is our gamer extraordinaire who is joining us today and who will be able to just have that types of conversation about how technology is everywhere. But he's sort of just going to help us guide Davian in our conversation. So Davian, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And Amar as well. Awesome to have you join us.
Thank you. Mind if I give you a nice introduction, Davian? So I want to talk about Computer Science Education Week. It's not only about coding. I know that's what we're doing. That's one of the most important parts. But another important part of computer science is communication, connection, and Davian is one of the best at creating social, emotional connections with gamers. It's a pleasure to be here and to talk about how he's built communities around video games. Davian, with that, carry it on. You are muted, sir. You are muted.
I'm learning here. Amar, thank you so much. Coulter again, and Susan, thank you so much for the introductions. And to everyone watching today, it's a pleasure being here and kind of talking to you about my story, what I do with in the video game industry, and just kind of explain a little bit about my story and just maybe open your eyes to what's possible and maybe a path that you might probably want to take yourself. So if we can go to the next slide. Not sure how it works, but anyway. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so yes, so I am a Halo Esports producer for 343 Industries, and if you've been following along with anything Halo related over the last couple of weeks, you'll know that we actually released the game. Does it show up here? Doesn't. Yesterday. So yesterday is the first day that the game Halo Infinite was released. And this was on the back of years and years of planning and hard work from a team of developers, engineers, project managers, producers, and a variety of other artists and other folks that came together to produce what is essentially the last Halo title for the next 10 years. And so everything that you see is a reflection of that. And it is, if you haven't got a chance to play yourself, it's a phenomenal title. And if you know anything about Halo and Xbox, you'll know how you probably feel just as excited as I am to kind of be able to play it for the first time. So you're probably wondering, what does a producer do? And Amar touched on that earlier, and I cannot reiterate it enough. It's all about planning, communication, being very clear in your thoughts and your ideas, and being able to work with a team to kind of bring together what is essentially like a small piece and to kind of blow it up to something that's lives and breathes and is dynamic on its own. And it's a really rewarding experience. Although the game has only been out for less than a day, the team of 5 on the Halo Esports side has produced quite a few things that you'll be able to see as of yesterday, and I'll tease a couple of things that you'll see in the next week or so as well. So it's super exciting. Cool. All right. And then if we go to the next slide. So as an esports producer, one of the biggest things that we need to kind of work together on with a variety of teams all over the world, Australia, Latin America, Europe, and so on and so forth, is to create the roadmap of competitive events. Look, although Halo, you can play the title on its own, as in the story mode, there is a competitive 4v4 component that we created a program for. And so we outlined all the dates for the rest of the year. We created the partnerships that allow us to host these events. And we work with a variety of different folks to kind of allow viewers like yourselves to kind of watch from home and kind of take part and be part of that experience as well. And so, again, super rewarding, a lot of hard work, but we're excited to see the first step, and which is actually next weekend in Raleigh. So if you guys are watching on Twitch or halo.com, you can take a look and you can kind of see some of the action from the event as well. Okay, we can go to the next slide. And so if you haven't been following esports or not caught up with it, it is a phenomenal part of gaming. The best of the best from around the world compete in online events, online tournaments, and all culminates into like the Halo Championship Series or the biggest events happening around the world. And if these two pictures do not do it justice, but they kind of show off exactly like what I'm talking about. Large audiences, giant screens, huge productions, and kind of similar to what you'd find in like an NHL game or a baseball game, but blown up on the largest stage that we can have. Cool. And in addition to events, everything that you see here was produced from myself as well. So if you enter into the game, you will see like cosmetics that I partnered with our key pro teams, and these are available to purchase as a fan. And this is probably one of my most rewarding projects that I worked on, and it's kind of exciting to know that fans like yourselves and even myself can come in and kind of wear armor that's pretty amazing. Cool. Yeah, some other fun stuff that I worked on as well is that you'll see in the next week is an apparel line. So there's shirts and other merchandise that we've designed as a team to kind of produce. On the right, you'll see the top 25 greatest Halo players of all time social campaign that we also produce as well. And we also done the Halo game set. This is just kind of show how the top plays are kind of break down the top plays and kind of show fans old and new exactly what makes our great players so great. And so all of these touch on a variety of different things. One is social, one is video, one is apparel and in real life. And it is, yeah, it's, as a producer, you get to touch on a lot of different things. So, and none of this would be possible without being able to kind of understand how to work with different teams and some of the more technical sides, getting a feel for what is and isn't possible in terms of coding and design. And without my background in that field, I would not be able to kind of complete these projects in a timely manner as well. Cool. I'll pause. I think I have one more slide. I'm not too sure. I forgot.
That's awesome, Davian.
Yeah.
And that's amazing that your sort of journey's taking you all the way here to be producing Halo, which is such a popular game. And I know that there's some students out there that are going to have some questions for you in just a second. So maybe you can start thinking about some questions, students, that you want to line up and send our way in just a minute. But I know that Amar has been pretty excited to have a chat with you, and maybe Amar can jump on here and sort of talk us through with you how technology sort of impacted your growth and your current career. I mean,
Absolutely.
First of all, I also want to comment on your background here, Davian.
Oh yeah, this is this way. This is from the game. Very Pacific Northwest. If you're in the Seattle area, that's this is kind of what we kind of reference when building the game. But yeah, it's raining now, but there's a few sunny days like this.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, go for it, Amar.
So, okay, what I really want to ask, and I think the students really want to know, Davian, is how you use technology to bring people together. I know a lot of schools want to create esports teams right now. They want to get started. Do you have any tips for starting your own local community before you make it blow up you did?
Yeah, absolutely. I think building a community is kind of like the foundational parts of any gaming ecosystem, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of, honestly. So I think if I had to give any advice, it'd be kind of to communicate your plan early. Get someone who is experienced, or a teacher or another mentor, to kind of help you kind of bring it all together, and then you guys can work to kind of figure out what makes the most sense. But in a sense, you want to make sure that you have the right equipment, you have the right time, you have the place to kind of play and compete, and be able to kind of market and promote your program as well. And then yeah, the more that you do it, the more that you go through some of these hurdles, maybe some pain points. At the end of the day, it's going to be extremely rewarding, because you'll know that you're bringing people together, and there's nothing more fun than playing with your friends.
Dude, that's awesome. Sorry, my mind got thrown out there. So much information to take in.
Yeah, no worries.
The other question I had, let me just get that up. Coulter, do you see any questions from students, to be honest?
Yeah, we've got a couple that I can fill in while you get your second question up. We have Miss Bridget's class that wants to know how long you've been working for Halo, and do you have a favorite Halo game, or a character? Sorry, do you have a favorite Halo character?
Yeah, for sure. I've been working for Halo for the last 2 years. I'm just coming up for 2 years, actually. So I'm fairly new in terms of time that I've spent at the studio. But yeah, it's been an exciting journey, and I can't wait to see how the game evolves, and me being a part of it, it's going to be pretty exciting as well. And in terms of a favorite character, it has to be Master Chief. He's the hero that we all aspire to be. I've been a fan of his since I was 16, playing the first Halo 1 title 20 years ago, and 36 now. I'm working for Halo is kind of exciting, and kind of working with Master Chief on a day-to-day basis is pretty rewarding in itself.
So I know there's a pending question
Sure.
that, and this is just from my research, and I'm a little unfamiliar with some of the gaming terms and some of the games and the releases of games, but I did see that there are no more midnight releases. Is that a thing? And that we need to bring back midnight release parties?
We need to bring back release parties. Midnight, noon, breakfast, bring a party. I'm here for any gaming party, honestly. But yeah, gaming has changed quite a bit. You used to only be able to buy it at like GameStop or EB Games or Best Buy, but now that you can play your games digitally, and you can, you don't necessarily need to leave your room to buy it. Those kind of experiences have kind of faded a bit, but it's not to say that they don't happen. Like if you search around, I'm sure there's some parties that are happening that you can kind of take care of. And hey, if there isn't, what's stopping you from creating your own?
So we have some other questions coming through here. One asks from Emma, how do you make the game so awesome? So maybe how do you work with, I'm guessing, like the coders and the producers in the background?
Yeah.
How do they get that inspiration, and how are you supportive of that?
Yeah. I'm sure you love the game as well, everyone watching. Everyone who's working on it loves the game just as much as you do. Like, we are all fans first, and we want to produce a game or a title or an experience that we've always dreamed of. We've always imagined ourselves being the hero, or making a game that you always wanted to play yourself, and that kind of drives our passion from within, and it allows us to kind of produce these amazing moments. And when it comes time to receiving feedback or inspiration or additional thoughts on how we kind of improve the title, we look to the community, the fans just like yourselves. We watch social media, we watch different places where we can get that feedback, and we can kind of pull together what makes sense, prioritize the list, and kind of work through backwards, and kind of figure out what we can achieve and cannot at this time, and kind of work from there. the game is always evolving. The game that you see yesterday or today is going to be different from the game in the year, and that's a testament to the engineers and the coders who kind of built a foundation that allows us to seamlessly make adjustments, and then with new content updates that happen on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. So the game's always evolving. Working with the engineers is extremely critical to kind of outline what your vision is and what the fans want, and then you guys kind of work together to kind of figure out a timeline and make something that makes sense.
Awesome. I love
Yeah.
that inspiration comes from different areas, but I think it ultimately comes from the customers, right? The
That's
people
right.
that are playing. That's where the inspiration is. So Emma, you would be the one that's making these games awesome. Essentially, is what we're getting back to.
Your voice matters 1000%.
And I think that ties back into technology, where the more you know about it, the more that you can be in and impact other areas of technology. So if you knew something in Halo, maybe or in Minecraft, if you knew something about it, maybe because you're learning and you're building your skills, you're able to have those types of conversations with other people like yourself. So, Amar, that kind of brings us back to you, because I know you love Halo, and you can have those conversations a little bit better than myself. So, because you have that experience and because you have that knowledge, you're able to have these types of conversations, and maybe you can ask a good questions to Davian, because I know you've
I'm
had.
actually going to ask a question the students asked. I was thinking the same thing, so we're on the same level. What's your favorite type of match, Davian?
Match?
Like, if you're going to be playing multiplayer Halo.
Oh yeah, there's nothing more exciting than being a part of a 49 to 49 Slayer match, which is basically, team deathmatch. Watching at least the highest players play and seeing like the tactics and kind of teamwork and communication there to kind of get the win or strive for it is so exhilarating. It is one of a great feeling. I'm sure you've had those moments yourselves, fans or viewers from home. But yeah, it's that's probably my favorite match. It's just pure skill and kind of outthinking your opponent on a second by second basis.
Mar, you're right. That I can see that Gabriel from Miss Wheeler's class asked that exact same type of question. So there you go, Gabriel. Hopefully that answered that question for you. We also have another one from Shinea. I hope I pronounced that correct. Also from Miss Wheeler's class, and it asks, how do you make the characters? Like,
Yeah.
How do you make the characters?
Making characters and models is like such a fascinating experience. These take years and years of exploration and ideation and so on and so forth. Basically, if there's a need for a new character, all the artists kind of come together and kind of whiteboard what they think might be cool. And then there's meetings to kind of figure out like what makes sense and what doesn't based off of the story and like where we're at in the game. And there's constant revisions on modeling and fine tuning and texture art and all that stuff to kind of put it all together. And then finally, you'll see like the character that you see in before you. Like even the game that I played today, like Halo Infinite, it was so different than the one that we were about to release last year before it got delayed. And it's a testament to like the skills of our engineers and artists. And if you have a skill like that, it's going to be put to the test when it comes to kind of refining that player experience once it does release. It's amazing. Yeah, I encourage you all to like draw and sketch and come up with your own ideas, because that's exactly how it all starts when it comes to having that in a game.
Awesome. So I got a question here. It's asked, what is the largest tournament you've hosted?
Yeah, the largest tournament hosted was actually 2 weeks ago when we were expecting like 128 teams participating, and we got 512 teams from around the world. It was the largest Halo tournament ever, and so far. And so this was a gauntlet of events for the competitors over 2 days, and the tournament took, I think, like 18 hours and was broadcasted, and there was over 60,000 people watching concurrently, which means at the same time. And we saw some of the best moments in Halo so far, and the game was in beta for only a few days, and we can't wait to see what comes next, because it just bodes well to like how much fun we're gonna see moving forward and all that.
So I'm assuming that game was all online, but with your job, do you also get to travel the world with being able to now go to games, now that sort of we're moving forward and being face to face with everybody again? Do you anticipate being able to travel around the globe with your job?
Yeah. Once the first event happens next week in Carolina, where I'll be at, I'll be traveling at least once a month. I'll be going to Mexico. I'll be going to Australia, Spain, other places in the U.S. like Orlando and LA and Anaheim, and then in the next year or two, we'll probably go to new places like Japan and Singapore and South Africa, and just kind of go from there. And these are all like whatever we dream of, we can kind of make it happen. And it's all about just having a vision and kind of sticking to it. And so if you enjoy traveling, this is definitely something that I'll be doing quite a bit of in the next little bit.
Awesome. Amar, do you have another question? I can see that we have a few coming in. Shaden wants to just clarify what console Halo is on, and do you anticipate it ever being on maybe a PC or a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, great question. The great thing about Halo or Halo Infinite, is that it is available on PC as well as Xbox, and it's available across all the Xbox family, from Xbox One, S, X, Series S, PC for the first time, and heck, you can even play it on your phone if you have Xbox Game Pass. So it's there's a variety of different ways. We want to make the game as accessible as possible. I don't see it coming onto Nintendo or PlayStation at this time, but if you do have a PC, it's definitely available to you. And I think the multiplayer portion of it is free, so you don't even need to purchase the game.
Awesome. So I think we've got time for maybe one or two more questions. I see one that's just jumped in, and they've asked, do you have any exclusive swag that you've maybe received from the Halo team before?
Oh yeah, I have tons of little things. So let's see if you can show. Yeah, okay, cool. If I put it close to my chest, you can see it. There's like this little pop art thing. This is the hat that I designed as well. So this is not released yet, which is really cool. What else do I got? Oh yeah, here we go.
Drum roll. We have the drum roll now.
Yeah, exactly. There's like this Halo Infinite soccer shirt that I'm a part of. We have a soccer team that I play on, and it has like my little name on the back, Div. So it's really kind of nice.
Nice. What a great community you're working for. Yeah. That's awesome that you're able to just have that community, and I think because of technology and your involvement in it from starting out here in Canada, over here in Toronto, and just following your passion has allowed you to experience these sort of things in your career. Whether you're behind the scenes engineering or whether you're producing like you are, I think technology has got an important role in everything that we do nowadays. So I think, Davian, we've got to run. We've got to get onto some coding. I can see some anxious students out there ready to get into Minecraft and get on some Python. So we cannot thank you enough for being here, sharing your journey with technology and Halo. So thank you so much for being a part of this today. And best of luck with your, day one release is today. It's pretty, we're still grateful that you're coming out right after you've released your big game, right? Like that's such
it's so cool. Yeah. So that was my pleasure. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate the time.
Yeah. We'll hope to see you again. Okay.
Absolutely. Bye now.
Amazing. It's pretty awesome that we're able to use technology in different ways that we might not see as just, okay, well, if you want to be in towards technology or computer science, you have to be the best coder, or you have to be the best gamer. You can find different avenues and things that you're good at to allow you to get, super cool jobs like working for Xbox and working for Halo. So I think there's so many opportunities for us.
Yeah, and I know that just the idea that something that is your fun, your entertainment, really can become your career. There's things that we enjoy, but there's so many parts of, like, even just video game creation, the artists, the coders, the people who market, the people who promote. There's so many layers of it. So if this is something you're passionate about, and being able to use the technology in so many pieces of that too. Oftentimes you think of the creator being the guy, but there's so many facets of creating something awesome like Halo. All of those pieces together come, it's a big team of people who have to develop the swag. All of those pieces come together to make that community so powerful. So whatever your passions in technology are, whether it's creating graphic design, doing artwork, if it's the coding part, if it's the playing part, there really is a place for everyone in the world of gaming. So wonderful.
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on. I think we're itching. I'm itching to get into some Python. So actually, Susan, if you could throw your screen up, we're going to walk everyone through how to sign in, just in case they have a different way to sign into Minecraft, because there's 2 different ways. So we're going to be coding in Python today. Let's log in. I want you to head on over to Minecraft Education. If you have a password, sign in using your username and password. You might have to use your school email. That's usually the best one that works. But sign on in using your education email. Now, if you do not have an education account, that's okay. If you do not have a password or a username, that's okay. Once you get to that home screen, you will be able to sign in using a demo account. So tough to see it on our screen here, but it's just below the word that says sign in. So you can click on that and sign in using a demo account, which is totally fine, not a problem. Feel free to do that and sign in and get ready to join us in Minecraft. And once you're there, you can select Hour of Code. And when you select Hour of Code, you'll be able to really just start loading your game. So I'm going to jump over to my gaming computer here. Let's do the transition. Let's see how quick we can do this. Oh, there we go. We got the double side angles here.
Coulter gets his screen up and going. We're going to be talking about the Hour Code lesson in Timecraft. Really, really fun. So many kids across the world getting excited about computer science this week for Computer Science Education Week and participating in the Hour of Code. Last I heard, there were students from 180 countries around the world, millions of students participating in the Hour of Code. So really great that you're here today, and let's get going with the Minecraft. Remember that if you have questions along the way, we have that page there for you. If you have questions, you want to put it out there, we'll pause along the way as well. But at any point, if you have questions, you can pop them in there at thecc.page/Minecraft. Once you get yourself logged in and set up, whether it's again with your school account or that demo account, get yourself in there. And if you have those questions, we'll be monitoring that there. And if you have some Minecraft related question about the tasks we're doing, feel free to jump in and we'll have that ability to try to respond to those as we're going.
Awesome. Let's do this. So I'm going to jump in. It looks like my other screen has now really got this red radiant light on me. So that's okay. It's not as clear, but my gaming is so much better on this computer. So I'm going to create my world. I've now jumped into my Timecraft. And we have a few steps to get us started. So bear with us. And if you need a little bit more time, feel free to pause it. But we're going to be looking for our buttons today. So we're going to be pressing some buttons along the way. And the first thing is to find that first button and right in front of you. Click on that. Let Timecraft load. We can see some pretty cool animation here. And I love how some of these developers in Minecraft, which we were lucky enough to actually speak to this week a little bit, and I got some inside tips about Timecraft. And I actually met a few engineers and programmers that have given me some proper vocabulary about some of these things. So I'm excited to share those with you today. Now, what we have here. Oh, I've got that message here. Let's get rid of that. I've got some programs on the back end running. Let me make sure that I'm at full optimal power. Now, today, you are going to be going through, the first thing you're going through is our little, we call it a little obstacle course. So feel free to jump into a little obstacle course here. And let me just get going here. I got a lot going on, and we got some messages coming through, and this is why I didn't close down the computers, and that's okay. So once you get in, we're going to head through our little obstacle course. You can see we have our illuminated path. Anytime this is new to you in Timecraft, you'll see an illuminated path that will let you walk through the area or our little space. So if you ever need to press the letter H, if you need to know how to move, but W, S, A, and D are how we move forward, right, left, and back. Spacebar lets us jump. We're going to just keep following these. And now this is one of these terms that we just learned. They call them sparkling breadcrumbs. And it was from the gentleman that I was speaking to had the perfect Irish accent, and just the way he sounded, it was great. I'm not even going to try the Irish accent, but so once you get to the end of your obstacle course, you're going to click on that button, and we're going to head on into our Timecraft atrium. Now, it's pretty massive area, and it's pretty cool. So once we walk in, we immediately meet Tara. Now, Tara is our guide through today. Tara will tell us everything that we need to know and give us any support. So if you are a little bit lost, you can just walk around a little bit, maybe head on over to your NPC, head on over to Tara, and it will tell us a little bit more information and help you out. Okay, and the first thing that Tara says is that there seems to be something going wrong in time and they need our help. So we need to choose a time agent to help us in our missions, and we also need to choose the type of coding we're going to do. So it asks us right here to choose the coding language. Now, it's okay if you want to use blocks, but today we're going to use Python. It's a little bit more challenging, but you're here with me and Susan, and we're going to walk you through this today. So you feel really comfortable and confident, and this is a great place to make mistakes, to learn, to try your best. So we're going to select Python, and then we're going to select our time agent. So this is the time, this robot will help us fix these mysterious errors in history and save the future. So we're going to head on over. We're going to select our time agent. Now, Susan, do you have a specific time agent that you think we should choose?
How about today? Let's go with, which one's the Yeti?
The Yeti, the yellow Yeti. Yes, we can choose
Yeti.
the yellow Yeti. That sounds awesome. So let's choose the yellow Yeti. All right. I love the alliterations that they make here too. We've got the red rascal, green gremlin, blue banshee, and purple pixie. So choose your agent. Doesn't matter which one you choose. Totally fine with choosing any one of the ones that are there. And then we're going to press the letter C just to introduce ourselves to our agent. So we press the letter C, and this screen is pretty new, right? So it might be new to a lot of us because we might not have coded in Python before, and you might have just done the block coding. But if you get this screen, this is good news. We're going to code in here, and we're going to always look for the hints that they provide us. So there's lots of hints throughout our coding today. And you'll see in the main here where it says main, this is where we're going to be typing our code. All right. So for right now, we just need to click run because we're just introducing ourselves. And it says follow us to the time agent testing area. So again, the time agent testing area is a new space for us. So we need to look for our sparkling breadcrumbs and follow those breadcrumbs to our testing agent or to our testing area. So it says, I've added a talk device to your inventory. Select the talk device to call me. So the talk device has now been put into our hotbar. And we can press numbers 1 to 9 to go through our hotbar and make sure that it's in our hand. And when we right-click our talk device, now, I didn't say this earlier, but maybe you're on a different computer and your right-click is going to be different. Maybe you're on a Chromebook. If you're on a Chromebook, you need to two-finger tap. We call this the snake bite. So you can two-finger tap. And if you need to do that, that's totally fine. Now, if you need to, if you're on a different device as well, maybe it's a MacBook. That is also a two-finger tap. Maybe you're on a mouse like myself. I've got my mouse. And if you need to do that, that's totally okay as well. So right-click your talk device, and we're going to start our activity. Now, this one's a real quick, simple one, but it's going to be one of the longer ones that I walk us through, okay? Because I just want to show the different things in our Python to get you started. So if you go a little bit faster, that's totally fine. Or if you need a little bit slower, you can always remember the things that I'm showing you on this particular activity. So we're going to start the activity. And I'm going to head over. Oh, connection successful. Let's test our agent. So I'm going to head over to where I have to test my agent. And I know that I have to move my agent 1, 2, 3. Now, I just want to start getting in good habits, though. So anytime I get to a new coding area, the first thing I do is I press C. And I check out the code that I can use. Now, this one only shows that I need to use the agent move. And that's totally fine, right? That's what we want. That we only need to use one. But when we get more and more challenging, there's going to be different types of code that we can use, like agent turn or agent destroy or agent place. But for this one, so I like to see what I'm going to use before I start practicing my algorithm. So I always press the letter C. I check out what I could use. I then go back to my screen and I write my algorithm out. Now, I'm a classic paper and pencil type person. I love writing on paper and pencil. I like putting my algorithms down because I think it's the easiest way for me to see what I've done or what I need to do or what I need my agent to do. And then I can easily put it into my code. So right now, I know I just need to go forward by 3. So I just write F3 for forward 3. That just makes it nice and simple for me. Okay, so I always remember that. Now, you can do it any way you like. Maybe you want to try to practice memorizing, but I promise you, when we get to more challenging lines of code, this will help you out along the way. So get your piece of paper and your pencil out, or maybe you want to use something on your computer, like a Word document, and you can type it out that way. So let's jump back into our coding and our test area here. Anytime I am in this screen, on this interface, I have an example. I also have a pro tip. There's always a pro tip. And this one is saying use the for loop to do one or more actions multiple times. Now, we'll use this later on. We don't need to use this now, but I love that I can see that that's a pretty good example. Okay, so I don't need that. But what I do need is to write in my main. This is where we're going to be writing our code, where it says main. So I can erase that hashtag there, and I can begin writing my first line of code. Now, if I go to the very top, I see the code that I need to write, agent move. So I'm going to go back down, and I'm going to type in agent period move. And then I need to do the bracket because it said bracket. And it didn't tell me what to put inside the bracket. Well, it did. It told me that I've got some valid directions. I got one parameter in here. So I got some valid directions: forward, back, left, right, up, and down. So I'm going to write in move forward. All right. Now that looks about right. But if you looked at the example beforehand, if you went and took a look at the example, it showed that that parameter, that direction, was in a different color. And to make it into a different color, it looks like I'm going to need to put some quotation marks there. So if I put some quotation marks, it turned into that color. And now I should be able to agent move forward. But I know I need to move agent move forward 3 because I wrote it down. So instead of having to type that out again, I'm a kind of guy that likes to work smarter and not harder. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. So I use my keyboard shortcuts. I do Control-C, and Control V, and there it is again. And then I space, or I enter, I click enter, and I Control V one more time, because that's my 3 move forward lines of code. So now I'm going to run this. There it is. Okay, so Terra now comes up. Anytime I complete my code, Terra always comes up and gives me a little bit of information for what to do next. So we have no time to lose. Let's head on over to the time computer. Time computer is a new area in my world, so I need to follow my sparkling breadcrumbs. All right, now that I'm here, again, Terra is a very vital part of our world today and our tasks. Terra is going to be providing lots of information for us. So if you're a little bit lost, like I said, head on over, find Terra, and get that information. But this one says, welcome to the timeline computer. A time split has been detected. That means that something has gone wrong in time. You and your time agent must travel to these time splits and fix them. Press the button on the timeline computer to select the first time split. All right. So there's my timeline computer. There's my first time split. Now, we are all going to be completing the first timeline together. We're all going to be, by default, we all have this first one to complete. I'm going to right-click my button, or I'm going to 2-finger tap it. And now we need to follow the breadcrumbs to our time pod. We need to go to the time pod. So let's head on over to the time pod. And you're going to spend some time in the time pod here today. All right. Now, Terra's right here, and it says we can use the time pod to travel in the time split, but there's only 3 time splits. So that means we only have to do 3 missions today. So just keep that in mind, that we have 3 missions to complete today. And now move towards the time pod, and we're going to press this button to get a briefing. So anytime we choose something from our computer, we then head over to our time pod, and we click on the button to get a briefing of the challenge. And this first challenge says, in this time split, a soon-to-be famous jazz musician has lost their prized trumpet and is using a kazoo instead. Their influence on the world is disappearing. Travel to New York City, USA in the 1920s and save jazz. Okay, so if that is the case. But if we want something to be read back to us in Timecraft, we don't have to do all this reading. There's already a lot of reading, and I'm here to guide you and help you and read these things with us together. But if you're working on your own, maybe you chose a different mission in the future, you can always press this book with the speaker. And when you press the book with the speaker, it opens up Immersive Reader, and you can press the play button for it to read back to you. In this time split, a soon-to-be famous jazz musician has... You can also translate into a different language if you'd like. So you can come over here and you can find a different language, and you can translate it into a different language, which is really nice and helpful for everybody. Okay, so I'm going to do the whole document. There we go. All right, so if you need to translate or you want it to be read back to you, click on this book with the speaker and use that Immersive Reader tool. All right, so now that I've been briefed, I can enter the time pod and press the button. Like I said, we're pressing lots of buttons today. All right, so we're going to head over. We're going to press our button, and we're off into a time split. Perfect. So now we're at our jazz club, and our musician says, booed off another stage. Ever since I lost my trumpet, nothing's been the same. The kazoo just doesn't have the same zing. What I love about this world that we're in today is that it sparks some interest, at least for me, on some real life people or some real life events. So I wonder, who is this famous jazz musician in the 1920s that plays the trumpet? So when I went through this, I actually went online and I had to type in, and I searched famous trumpet player in 1920s New York, and I found out who the character is. So maybe you want to do that too, just to give yourself a little bit more of that connection piece, because these are true, well, they are truer events. They're loosely based on events. So Tara is going to come up and provide us with some information, see if they can help us. And we need to use that talk device again. So I'm going to right-click the talk device that's in my hand. And I'm going to start my activity. And so Tara's detected something behind the wall here, and it's revealed the location of the jazz musician's trumpet. So I need to use the code to move the agent through the maze and collect the trumpet. So, like I said, I like to do things repetitively, and I like to get in good habits when I'm coding. So what I can do is I can press the letter C, which I always do when I get a new challenge in the code in coding. I always press the letter C, and I have a look at the options that I can use. And right now, it looks like I have two options. I have agent move, this one right here, and I also have agent collect as my other option. Okay, I also have the example right here for me. All right, so it looks like I can move forward, move forward, move forward. So that looks good. I also have a pro tip. And again, that's using that I range for loops. So if I have a loop that I want to use, I can do that. I mean, a loop just means a repetitive, a pattern. If I see a pattern, we're going to see some patterns later on. So we'll probably bring these loops in later when we see the pattern. So I can see that these are the items that I need to use, or these are the lines of code that I need to write. So I head on back and I begin to write my algorithm. Now, Susan, maybe you can help me with my algorithm today.
Okay, let's do this.
Perfect. So where should I go first?
We're going to go. Do we need to introduce ourselves to the agent or go talk to the agent? Check out the agent there.
I think the agent is ready to go. I
Okay.
could use a hint, but I'd
Oh,
like
the
to
hint.
see what I could use a hint. Yeah, you know what? If I right click my activity here, we can use a hint. But Susan, I think we'll wait for the hint. I think we'll let you struggle first because I love seeing students problem solve first and then go back to get their hint.
Okay. Where am I looking? I'm looking for either a.
Here's my agent. So I think my agent needs to head forward by a couple, right?
Okay.
So we're going to go agent forward by how many blocks there?
It was it 1, 2, 3, 3
Yeah,
blocks
let's go.
forward. So agent move, agent forward 3 times.
Perfect. So I'm just going to write down F3 for forward 3 because I don't want to spend too much time writing out the whole code on my piece of paper, my pencil. So I just wrote F3. So now we're here. Now where do we go?
Then we would go, is it up 1?
Yep. So I'm going to write up 1 or U1. Perfect.
And then let's see.
Now, you know what, Susan? I can already see that maybe we need that hint, right? Maybe we need to see that hint so you can see which direction we're going to head. So I'm going to use that first hint. And
following the sparkling breadcrumbs.
And there's that sparkling breadcrumbs.
So forward 3,
using
up
these,
1.
Yeah. So then we've got the forward 3, up 1. We're now right here. Where am I heading next?
Well, and so here's my question, because I know in some coding things I would have to turn before I could go forward. Is that going to be forward? Because like that's where I'm getting hold up here, because I'm going to go forward 3, up 1, and then do I need to turn before I forward 3 again? Or is
That's a great question. Now, because we went into our coding interface here, it doesn't look like I need to turn anywhere. It just says I need to move. So I think we could probably be good with forward 3 still.
I think that's what's holding me up, is not knowing what directions he's facing. But thank you for reminding me of that. So I'm going to do forward 3, up 1, forward 2.
Forward 2. Okay.
Down 2.
Yeah, down 2. Perfect.
Forward 2.
Forward 2. Perfect.
Up 2.
Oh, yeah, up 2.
And then I need to go 1 that way. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, and then probably perfect. So let's start writing that out. So I'm going to go back into my coding interface here. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to select my main screen here, and I'm going to start writing in my code. Now, I can type this all out. Agent move bracket question or quotation forward. There's my 1. Now I need to write it 3 times. So like I said, I work smarter, not harder here. I'm going to
Control C,
V.
Control V, right?
Yeah, you got it. Control C, Control V, Control V. So there's my agent move forward 3. Now I like to make my lines of code in Python really clean and easy to read. So I'm going to give myself a space there just to have, just like we do in writing, right? We give spaces between words and
Like
I think
paragraph.
in paragraphs, right? So for me personally, I like to do it. It's not necessary, but I just like, especially for today when I'm showing my screen, it makes it really simple for you to see. So the next one was agent move up. So there we go. Now the nice thing is, I don't know if you can see, but as I type in agent dot move, and then as soon as I put the first bracket, it gives me the closed bracket for me. And as soon as I put the first quotation, it gives me the second quotation as well. There's my agent move forward. And I'm going to Control V that again. Oh, I forgot to enter. There we go. There's another agent move forward. And I'm going to give myself a space because it's a new direction. Now, I have this already on lock. I have that Control V, Control C already there, right? I got tons of those all ready to go if I need to write those out. Now, I could easily just do that. So I don't have to keep typing in agent move. And I just go inside here, and instead of forward, I just type in down. So again, just trying to work smarter, save myself some typing. Here we go. So I got a couple downs. I got a couple forwards. Couple forwards there. And then I have, you know what? I'm going to run my code. I want to see where we're at. Let's see if your algorithm that you've got me here so far, Susan, let's see if it works. So I'm going to click on run.
Test and run.
There we go. And I gave it a good test. Perfect. So I'm right there. I need to go up 2 and then forward 2 still. So I can easily add that in. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the activity. So I click reset. It brings me all the way back. I'll go back in here. And I just need to go, I think I said I need to go up 2. And I already have an up 1 right there. I'm just going to Control C, Control V that.
Oh, save yourself some time with those Control C, Control V.
Definitely. Definitely. And then I need to go forward 2 more times. So there it is. That's my first line of code there. And I think it's going to run. I think it's perfect. So let me run it. And it is. But you know what, Susan? You know what I forgot to do? Shame on me. I forgot to add that last line that they suggested I put in there. And I could see it from the top. And I forgot to do it. Agent collect.
He's got to pick it up.
I just got to pick it up. So I just have to put in agent collect. So I can do that. I'm going to Control C that one. I'm going to head on down. So I'm going to reset my activity. You can see my agent's already back there. Now, before I do that, because I'm pretty sure that the code is perfect now, and it's going to run through, and I'm going to select that trumpet. But, Susan, did you know that I have an option for a second hint?
Ooh.
Look at that second hint. And I love the second hint because sometimes I actually prefer getting my code correct, but not all the way. I don't want to finish the challenge. I get there just to the end before I have to do one line of code, and I come back and I click on second hint. Now watch what happens when I click on my second hint. At the top of my screen, it says check code builder to debug. So I can debug this code, but look, it's changed my code for me. It's come in and I scroll down and it's changed this code for me. So the first thing I need to do is I need to go through, and because I've written this down so perfectly, Susan, I can easily go through and change this. So let's do this together. So the first one says F3, meaning I need to move forward by 3. And this looks like this repeat code that I have. And instead of it says 2, I need to change it to 3. And then I've got agent move up by 1, which is correct. Agent move forward by 2, correct. Agent move down by 2. And look, I have a code line right there that's incorrect. I'm just going to erase that. There was an extra down. They tried to trick me. And then I've got agent move forward by 2. Now, I only see an agent move forward by 1. So that means I need to put another agent move forward line of code right there. And then I've got agent move up by 2 and agent move forward by 2. And then collect all. And I think I got it. I think this is a pretty good way. And I just liked being able to go back and debug this. I love doing some edits to my work. And I know we have some teachers out there like Miss Wheeler who has taught her students to go back and edit their work. And she was planning on this all along, knowing that you'd be writing Python one day, that you have to go back and edit your work. So awesome. So I've collected it. My jazz musician has said, I've missed my trumpet with all my heart. Let's see how they like jazz now. Perfect. So we've completed our time repair split. Amazing work. I've repaired this moment in time. The future of jazz music is saved. Perfect. So now every time we're in a world and we complete a task, you are able, or what happens is you're asked to find another button. The scans revealed a hidden button somewhere in the area. We need to search for this hidden button. So it's a second task on top of the coding task. Got to find the button in the room. Now this one is the first one, and it gives us our sparkly breadcrumbs. And I can find that button. All right, so take a second, find that button. And I can right click. And you're going to now be given a secret room. So we have to go and find this secret room. And this one is right next to me. And we have our 2 culprits. It says, it looks like our culprit is a time agent, but which one? We've got to get to the bottom of this. Remember this clue and we'll discuss your findings when you return to the control center. So we need to use our talk device to return to the timeline computer. So I'm just going to quickly write down P for Pixie and B for Banshee, because those are the 2 that have left some hints for us. They've left their fingerprints on this time split. So we'll see what happens in the next time split, and maybe we'll see these characters appear again. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to end my mission. Now, we want to hear from you, right, Susan? We want to hear from you. We want to know, have you completed this challenge? So I think we would love to see if you've completed this challenge, and we would love to hear from you. Now, it's okay. If you didn't complete the challenge, not a problem. Not a problem. You can always pause us, finish the challenge with your class, and then come back and keep playing with us. Okay?
Alrighty, yeah. Don't forget, you can go to thecc.page/Minecraft2021, and you can let us know, did you complete the Jazz Band Challenge? This was a simple one, and I love the fact that it gave us those hints to go in and make sure that our code was all written correctly. But if you're not quite there yet, remember, no worries. We are in that recorded format, so you can always just press pause and wait until you're done with where you're at. So go ahead and press pause, and then you can catch up when you're ready. That means when you're done with your Jazz Band Challenge, you can join in with us. Alrighty.
Perfect. So let's keep moving. So we now have Tara here, and I wrote down Pixie and Banshee. Who are you thinking, Susan? Who do you think did this? We got to take a guess.
I guess Banshee, Rascal, Pixie. Let's go with. I'm gonna guess Banshee, I think.
Let's
That's
go
my
Banshee.
guess.
All right, so let's select Banshee. Now, yours might be different on your screen. You might have chosen Banshee as your time agent. So we're all going to be having different culprits. So based on the data, they're going to save it. Thank you, Tara, for saving the data and saving our guess. Now we're back into our area here, and we have our timeline computer that is opened up to a bunch of different tasks for us. We've got a bunch of different tasks. Now, you can choose whatever task you'd like, but I think I'm going to choose, I feel like I like to see what's next. I like trying to go in order here. And maybe we can try this one right here. Our square, it looks just like a cube. I'm not too sure, but we can click on the cube. And this is the one we're going to do. Even though it says here on the big screen, it's suggesting that we do that one, but it's random. So it doesn't matter what pops up on your screen there. I'm going to do the one right next to our trumpet. And this one is I believe it's the pyramid one. So I'm going to click on the pyramid or the cube. It's not even a pyramid yet. And I'm going to head back to my time pod. We've already done this, right? We've selected our time split before. We head over to our time pod. We get briefed. It's really nice in this world because it's all repetitive, right? So it's all the same sort of structure, I guess you would say. So the mission brief. Here is my time split where the Great Pyramid of Giza has somehow changed to a cube. We must go to ancient Egypt and figure out what happened. All right. So let's do it. So I'm going to head on in. I'm going to press the time button, or I'm going to press the button here. We got 2 jumps remaining. Dun, dun, dun. And we're in. So I now have this monument must be a giant honor to the king. But this cube continues to collapse under its own weight. There must be another shape that works. The culprit must have changed the architect's plans help him by completing the shape of a triangle so we can inspire them to make a pyramid. So we need to use our talking device here, our talk device, right click, and we're going to start our next activity. Susan, are you ready to help me out with this one?
I'm going to try.
You're going to try. Perfect. So
but that's okay because I love that about coding is you don't have to get it right the first time.
Nope,
if it doesn't work, you just reset and try again.
And the nice thing is that there's lots of hints and lots of tips. If we ever need them, we can use them to support us. So how about I just give us the first hint? Because this one's pretty tough. So I'm not even too sure on where we have to go to help make this triangle, right? So I'm going to use the first hint to show us what we have to do and where we have to go. So it looks like we just need to move forward, and then we need to put 1 up there as well. But like I said, before I even do that, I love pressing the letter C and checking out the different types of options I need to use. So I read this little introduction here. I usually read all this, and it basically says that we have these options. We need to have the agent give. We need to have an agent move. And we need to have an agent place. All right, so the first step is that we use this agent give, and it takes 3 parameters. So agent give, and then we do an item. We do the count. So how many items are we going to give them? Usually in creative world in Minecraft, we usually give 64, right? So we can do our 64, and then the slot. Where in our coding agent inventory are we going to put it? So if I right-click my agent, you can see there's slot 1. Okay, so let's go back to our coding world. We know we have to give the agent something. So again, I'm just going to highlight this, and I'm going to Control-C it and Control-V it down here. There's my example. Oh, there's the example right there. I could use that example, but I'm going to be independent here. I'm going to write it out myself. So agent give. And the first thing was that I need to give a quotation mark, sandstone. Now, you know what? I was doing this once before, and I wrote sandstone wrong. I didn't write it correctly. And that's okay, but it's important that we spell things properly, right? And then it said that I need, what did it say? How many spots I wanted to put it on, right? So I wanted to do 64, and I wanted to put it in slot 1. Does that look all right to you, Susan?
Let's try it.
All right, let's try it. Yeah, let's try it, right? That's the best thing about coding is that we get to try it. So it doesn't look like anything's happened, but maybe if I right-click my agent, I don't have any sandstone in there. So what did I do wrong? Oh, and it even says at the bottom, there's an error. Type error given. Missing 2 required positional arguments, quantity and slot number. So I thought I had the quantity there and the slot number. So whenever you make an error in your code, it provides you with this option right here that it highlights it. It even gives me a little red box over here to show me that I've done something wrong. So I can always go back and look to see what I did. So I can go back to my example and see what I did wrong. Well, I can see immediately what I did wrong. Do you see what my error is, Susan?
Is there some commas there?
Yeah, there's some commas, and these numbers are on the outside of the quotation mark. So I need to put the quotation mark after sandstone, comma, comma.
That
Now I can try to
precise
run.
punctuation, right? It's so much precision there to find the right pattern.
I agree. So let's run this one. Let's see if I got it. And there it is. Sandstone is now in my agent's inventory. Perfect. So now we need to, what are we going to do? We're going to move forward a couple. And we're probably going to need to use that code that says to, what does it say? Place block, agent, place on move,
Or
agent.
set, place. Was it set or place?
Agent place. There it is right there. And there are my parameters. I can place forward, back, left, right, up, or down. Okay, so Susan, I think what we'll do is we'll go agent move. Bracket, quotation, forward. And then I'm going to want to put agent place. If I'm moving forward, we just need to place it back, right? And I think I spelled agent wrong.
Spelling matters.
Spelling matters. I agree. All right, let's see how we go. Let's set this up. Let's run it. Let's see where we're at. See if we get the first one right. So I did do something right, but I didn't do something. I did something wrong. I think what I did wrong, Susan, I'm not telling my agent to place. What am I telling my agent to place? It doesn't know what to place. So I think I need
sandstone, right? Is that?
Well, yeah, I think that would make sense, but it's easier. We've made it easier for everybody, and we can just put the number where it's in my inventory slot. So it's on 1. Let's try it again. It's in my first inventory slot there. So let's see. There it is. Look at that. All right, so I need to repeat that 3 times. Do I not? 1, 2, 3. So I can copy and paste this really quickly, right? I just copy, Control C, Control V, Control V. Pretty simple, right? To me, that was pretty quick. I Control V'd and Control C'd all that code there. I can also, though, add that iframe. If I want to add that iframe, for I in range, and then I write how many items I want to move it at. So I could also use this in the example. I'm not going to for right now. I'm okay with this. I'm all right with this, even though I've written more lines and it's not as crisp looking. That's okay. It still gets the job done, right? So I'm going to reset my activity and we'll run it. All right, we're getting there, Susan. What do I need to do now? Do I need to move?
We have to
Go up, right?
Yeah, we got to go up to the 1 layer, right? He's got to go up 1.
Uh-huh.
And then we have to place, this time are we just placing, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think we need to turn. We got to use this turn button here. So I think this is the one code where we actually need to turn a couple times. So let's bring it back down and let's go agent turn and let's go left. We got to do like a little half circle. Agent turn left.
I want to see that. I'm not, how is he?
How's he gonna turn?
I can picture it now. Okay.
Yeah, the tough thing is that we need to abstractly visualize this, right? We can't physically see it. We have to imagine it. So this particular one, I actually forgot to write down my algorithm on my sheet. So I'm kind of going back and forth. You can see it's even taking us a little bit longer because I didn't plan ahead. So I'm just going back and forth and I'm resetting my activity and I'm running it. So I've turned, but I forgot to go up, Susan, and that's because I didn't write it down. So it's forward by 1 place back, forward 1 place back, forward 1 place back, turn left, for agent move up 1. All right, and then if I move up, I can imagine that if I move up 1, I'm going to be standing right there. I need to go forward 1, and then I need to place an item forward 1. All right, so forward 1, place forward 1. All right, now I feel more confident, Susan, that I wrote it down on my piece of paper. So I need to now move agent dot move bracket quotation up agent dot move forward agent
Place, right? Or-
place.
yeah. And
Quotation.
from inventory position 1, right?
Oh, good call. From 1. Good call. Forgot that. And I'm going to do up. Let's see what up does. I got a feeling it's not correct, but that's okay. Like I said, sometimes I got a feeling we're pretty close. So let's see. Oh, nothing ran. What did I not do? Reset activity. Code.
Uh-oh.
I didn't put a comma there. Agent place. Did I spell it right? Invalid syntax. Yeah, I think I got. Oh, the syntax is up, so maybe I need to go down. Reset activity. Let's see what I got. Okay, so I'm right there. I just need to place forward 1. But I can always, like I said, use that second hint and go back and debug. Right? We can always go back and debug. But today, I'm not going to debug this one. We're just going to change that to forward. I'm so close, and I think we got it, Susan. I think we worked one through this, and I'm going to run it. What is this? The shape is perfect. It has a sturdy base, but as it rises, it comes to a point. Genius, the king will be most pleased. So I think we did it. All right, so our time split's repaired. We now need to go and check out for our button. So it's around here. Have a nice little look. There's some pretty cool architecture here from our programmers in Minecraft. They've created a pretty cool little world.
Who's got the button?
But we need to find the button. You're right. And then once we find that button, we can find that secret room, select our agent. Oh, I just see the room open there, and I can see, I see Purple Pixie there. I also think I saw the green gremlin, but it could be wrong. Looks like that pixie's been in here a few times. You found the secret room. Take note of which time agents you see here and head back to the Institute. All right, so I've got Purple Pixie and I've got the green gremlin. So I'm going to put P and G down on my piece of paper. I'm going to right click. I'm going to end the mission. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you completed this challenge? Did you complete the Great Pyramid Challenge? Send us send your answers in the form if you have a second. And if you need some more time, not a problem. Pause the lesson. Take your time. Pause it and then replay us. That's totally fine with us. And you can catch up at your own pace. All right, but we got to get back to our screen as we are coming down to our crunch time here. We have to choose between the pink pixie and the green gremlin. I'm going to choose the pixie because we've seen them twice. And we are now asked to choose another time split. So there are a few other time splits here we can choose. It's still suggesting on the big screen that we choose the balloon. But again, you can choose whatever you'd like. But if you want to work alongside us today, we encourage you to do that. And I think we're going to end off today because it's Computer Science Week. We want to learn a little bit more. This computer is really intriguing to us. So we're going to right click that computer. We're going to head on over to the time pod. We're going to get our mission briefing. I've detected a time split in the 1800s that has erased computer programs from history. This is around the time the first computer scientist revealed her program to the world. We need to go to London, England, and debug this issue. Like I said earlier, I love how Timecraft has sparked some interest in other things. So I wonder if you can go and do a little bit of research and find out who the first computer scientist was in the 1800s in London, England. I wonder. So it says, no, this can't be. My program isn't working. It worked perfectly before. I must present my program tomorrow, but it will take weeks to make new punch cards. What am I going to do? So Tara comes on here and says the culprit has altered the punch card in her computer, and that's on their desk. We must help fix the punch card. So head on over to the desk, and the punch card's inside the computer, and we can't fix it directly, but our time agent can shrink down and repair it for us. So press the button to zoom in on the punch card so you can give your time agent instructions to fix it. So there's my time card. There's our little computer. We need to press this button and watch what happens. We've shrunk down and we've zoomed in. We're now looking down at the punch card, and we can press our start activity with our time device, or our top device, sorry, and we can see that we need to punch holes in the card to create the right program. All right. Susan, we ready for our last challenge? Let's do this. So the nice thing about us working today is we've been talking about this repeat and practicing our algorithm. Right now, I can see that I'm going to be needing to move forward. It looks like a little pattern might even develop because it's nice and structured for me. But the first thing I like to do, I press the letter C. I go in and I look at the type of code that I need to write. So I have agent move right here. I have agent destroy right here. And I have agent turn right here. So those are the three lines of code that I'm going to need to be writing today. And I have these parameters here, those directions, right? So then I'm going to go back to my screen and I'm going to write out my code. So I got my new piece of paper right here. And the first line is going to be agent move forward, agent destroyed down. Forward, destroyed down. Okay. Then it looks like if I put my finger out, it goes 1, 2, agent move forward 2, agent destroyed down. Agent move forward 2, agent destroyed down. That seems like a pattern to me. Does it
sounds
not?
a little, like repetitive or pattern-like for sure.
Yeah. So maybe I'm going to try to use that loop, that for I in range. I think I'm going to try that one for this one. And then I'm going to need to turn right, forward 2, destroy down, and then probably turn right again to do that loop. But you know what? I want to double check. I'm going to use my hint, make sure that's where I'm going to go. Yeah, they gave me the hint, and that's where I'm going to head. Perfect. So I'm going to head on into my coding screen. I'm going to copy this first one because, again, if I can, I might as well. Right? It's right there. Agent move forward. Copy this. Here's my main code. So agent move forward. Agent destroyed down. So it's giving me that first line just to help me out. Even though I figured it out on my own by writing out my algorithm, I think I've got it down. All right.
So we could, if we want to do this the long way, we could copy and paste that multiple times, right? That would be the longer way to do it.
We could do agent move forward. Let's see here. Right? And then agent destroyed down. And I would have to do this a bunch of times. Right? But instead, what I can do is I can use that iframe piece. Now, I'm going to go this way. And it's for I in range. And then I think I need to repeat it twice. We even move forward, agent destroy down. So 2. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. We have to put a colon underneath this, or after this. We put the colon, it connects it. And you'll see that it actually does an indent for me. So I need to have that indent there. I have that destroyed down there, which I don't want. I want to move agent forward too. So let's copy these ones. Place those there. Oh, it looks like my code is getting pretty messy here. So let's tidy it up. And there we go. That looks better. And that looks better. That looks pretty good to me. Maybe I can test it. Let's test it out. Oh, you know what? I already know that I need to go turn right. So let me just write that in there too. Agent.turn bracket right. And then I also know that I need to move forward too as well. I don't want that indent. That's the thing, is I don't want to put that indent there. I want it nice and tight like that. And the last one was agent destroy down. So I think this is going to get me pretty close to I think that looks pretty good right now. Let's see. Reset activity, and I'm going to run. Pretty good. Hey, I'm pretty happy with that. And I contribute that to the nice code that I've written here.
Planned it out. You planned it ahead of time.
Yeah, planned it out. I get it nice and close. I did a little doodle as well. So we can now go back. It looks like I need to go forward 2, destroy down, forward 2, destroy down. So go back into my code. Control C, Control V. That pattern there, and there it is. And I think that's going to let us complete the task, Susan. Can we try it out?
Reset, run.
Now, the last thing I want to do is actually I can show you. I can always do hint number 2. If you need it, do hint number 2 and debug your activity. It can be a lot of fun just to debug things. So try that out if you'd like. I think I got the code set proper, though. I don't think I'm going to need to debug. Let's run it. We did it. Perfect.
Yes.
So I'm going to close this. How on earth? My punch card is fixed. I can finally reveal the first computer program to the world. Amazing work. I've repaired this moment in time. Think it's funny how we used code to solve code? So my secret has been detected. I need to find that area, that button. I can see that there it is. I'm going to right click. And I kind of had a feeling that Pixie was the culprit today because we've seen Pink Pixie in every activity. So I'm pretty sure we can confidently say that was the Pink Pixie. I'm going to head on back to my area. I'm going to click the Pink Pixie. Fantastic work. I've prepared the timeline. Now that we have the situation under control, meet me at the control center. So I'm going to go over and see Tara. So when you're all done your final challenge, head on over, see Tara. Tara's going to tell us to put our time agent back in the proper spot. There it is. Great work. I've now stored everyone except for you, Pixie. You stay right there. So we're gonna give it a Pixie here. We're a little disappointed with the behaviors. And oh, we got a sarcastic clap from Pixie. You figured it out. I'm the culprit, but you're too late. You might have stopped me, but this time I'll be back. So Pixie takes off. And Pixie actually doesn't even allow me to go in. Pixie actually just jumps in that time pod and disappears. So the nice thing is that once we're all done, we get a little rank. We get a time detective. Perfect. We actually even we can also always replay this. So whenever I'm ready, I can right click and I can replay. And what I can do when I replay is I can choose Python or block again. And I can choose my time agent. And my time agent allows me, again, just to say it wants to say hello. So I just click on that play button, say hello. And look, all these time splits are reset and ready to go for me to try again. So I can choose any 3 of these. I don't have to go to the testing area anymore. I don't have to choose ones that I've already done. So you get to now complete all of these at, 3 more. You get 3 more splits. at your own pace. All right. And when you're all done, you have a little trophy room right here. You can go check out your trophy room. See which ones you've completed. This is kind of fun. Okay. And when you're finished, you click on your escape button on the top left, select I'm finished, and grab your certificate. Print that out, copy that, download it, save it to your computer. Keep that for your records. Okay. Now, we are all out of time, but we want to hear from you one last time. How many challenges have you completed? How many have you completed? And we also want to know, what was your favorite time gap to fix? So send us those messages in the form. We love seeing that participation. We love having the ability to hear from you. And thank you so much for being here today. That concludes our hour of code with Python. You are amazing out there trying a new language that might be challenging and different and difficult. So thank you so much for doing that and being great students. Awesome. So another big thank you, Minecraft Education Edition. Thank your teachers for having us in your classroom and being able to play and create in Minecraft while you're at school. That's amazing. It's now your turn to connect with your teachers to get your next steps. We hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon, and hopefully we see you on one of our other co-taught lessons.
Thanks, friends.